Hey, this is James Arthurray, and you may be aware I have a brand new book coming out February 11th. You can pre-order it on my website. It's called The Business of Redemption. It's also on Amazon. Redemption is defined as to gain or regain something by paying the price. You see, there's always a price for the prize, and the bigger the prize you're going after, the bigger the price you must pay. Are you with me? Chapter 1, The New Fish. My fall wasn't terminal, but it was catastrophic. I thought I'd lost everything, my business, my life savings, my reputation, my home. I would quickly realize, however, that I had lost even more. You see, I went from a privileged life on Mulholland Drive in Beverly Hills to the hole, solitary confinement, right next to death row. It was my own personal descent into hell. As we drove through the Arizona night, 1,000 stars were twinkling overhead. I was shackled at my waist and ankles and chained to the seat. The men shackled next to me on both sides spoke a language that I didn't really understand, and I wasn't really sure I wanted to understand. Their breath and their bodies smelled like anger, stale coffee, cigarettes, and death. When we picked up the guys from maximum security, they filed into the van with a waddle that was becoming familiar. The waddle of legs shackled just inches apart. The guy next to me said through 3 brown, cracked teeth, "These mother effers haven't seen sunlight in years." As they crammed into the van and shoved up next to me, their ghostly white skin confirmed that my new colleague wasn't lying. I had no idea where I was going. I wasn't sure I wanted to know. I was scared to death. You see, everything I knew about prison I'd learned from watching HBO, and that wasn't pretty. What I learned on the bus that night was that I didn't want to be, quote, ventilated, slang term for stabbed, raped, or beaten to a pulp by any of the guys shackled around me, who spent way too much time bragging about their conquests and their beatings. As the shoulder-to-shoulder packed van rambled down the highway, the tales were legion. Each story was more brutal and frightening than the last. Suddenly, I was Alice, cast into a surreal underworld peopled by strange characters where nothing at all made sense. I was spinning quickly down a very, very dark rabbit hole. How did I get here? We drove all night and arrived at a prison facility known as the Walls that housed death row. My new, quote, home was right next door to the most hardened of criminals whose lives would very soon end. They were sentenced to give their lives for whatever they'd given their lives for. I would come to know from experience and future conversations that these guys gave their lives for something much less than they would have wished. Potential and purpose were wasted on impulse and lack of emotional discipline and mastery. You see, we all give our lives for something. What are you giving your life for? It's time to redeem your life, to redeem your business, and take your power back. Have a masterful day. Thanks for tuning in.